After I saw my first 100 paid subscribers, even just on Substack alone, I was just like, holy cow, you guys like me, you really like me.
She's not just any writer, she is the weirdo who writes, a title she wears with pride and brilliance. Her motto, no matter how weird or wacky, there's a niche for everything. That's probably why she has raving fans that can't get enough. A few months back, she felt deplatformed and left a farewell letter on Medium. Now, she's on her way to earning her own salary on Substack. The stage is yours, Ossiana.
So, most people might know me as the weirdo who writes. I am a feminist writer, and I've been writing about everything from dating, relationships, my nightmarish life as a human trafficking survivor, to stuff about history, stuff about food. Pretty much if it exists in the world, I've probably written a little bit about it. It's pretty much, my writing is mostly like my rant box, but it's also stuff that just like fascinates me.
Ossiana, you've made a significant move to Substack amidst a wave of changes at Medium. What was the tipping point for you that made you decide to expand your presence to Substack?
My Medium stuff kind of exploded, and that's where I got most of like my followers. The reason I went to Substack was, okay, so Substack was a little bit weird for me. I actually started an account like 2 years ago. I was like, I'm going to make some more exclusive content, and then I never did. But when Medium changed its payout structure, I started to, well, for lack of a better term, I started to panic. And I was like, okay, I felt very deplatformed because for a while, like my views were not where they were supposed to be. Like I was having like 20,000 followers, and I was only getting like 100 views a day or 100 views per new article, which is like unheard of. When I went to Substack, I was like, I want to have something a little bit more permanent. I wanted to have something where I could actually see my followers expand. I want to see them actually paying for me, actually getting to the conversion rate. And it happened a little bit after the whole Medium boost day, the Medium day that's since lived in infamy for almost every single writer who was a full-time Medium writer at one point. And I was like, I want to be able to make my own salary. And I realized that if I have 1,000 subscribers, I'll have a base salary of $50,000 a year, and nobody will be able to take that away from me. That's huge. That's absolutely huge in this economy, because when it comes to my actual professional life, I've been suddenly fired. I think that that's actually kind of very normal for writers to be like suddenly laid off like that. So having that stability is what really sparked me to go into Substack. That's kind of where my Substack journey is. And while I'm not as active as I used to be on it, I still am on it, and I'm still trying to encourage people to follow me there. Definitely do follow me. I still have multiple publications. I definitely have to step that a little bit up. It's just that as of right now, I've been kind of tied up with other projects, which I am not at liberty to discuss right now.
Hey, do you want to start and grow your newsletter in 2024? Then I can be your accountability buddy. Become my subscriber for Kristina's newsletter. With this newsletter comes the Substack School, and I'd love to see you then. So check out my newsletter for more. I remember your Medium suicide note. It was a crisis point, and then you migrated your Medium subscribers to Substack. How many free subscribers were on your list, and how many paid subscribers did you win?
So yes, I did migrate over my original Medium subscribers over into Substack. And what happened was I got about 600 emails from my email list on Medium. And I was just like, okay, everyone's in. From that group, I pretty much just wrote what I would call a Medium suicide note, which was like I was expecting to shut down my account at that point. I was just beyond upset. I was beyond livid about my earnings being slashed that much. It actually put my ability to make rent on the line. So I was ready to just walk away from it all. There was like a crisis point for me because I was going through financial hardship. I still am, but I'm getting out of it. I explained that I was like, look, this is what happens, and this is what's happening to a lot of other writers. So I ended up getting, I'd say about 40 paid subscribers out of those 600 right off the bat. And lately it's just been a little bit up and down simply because of the Substackers Against Nazis. A lot of people did not want to continue supporting me on that platform because of the Nazi scandal on Substack. So I ended up putting a buy me a coffee thing there, and the subscriptions I lost on Substack got gained on buy me a coffee. And that's been growing steadily ever since.
How did this make you feel when you saw that over 100 people were willing to pay you?
After I saw my first 100 paid subscribers, even just on Substack alone, I was just like, holy cow, you guys like me, you really like me. And I was like, I'm just 10% of the way. I'm 10%.
I wonder, how has the way you connect with your audience changed? Do you feel a closer bond with your readers now that you are directly reaching their inboxes?
So I do want to say that my ability to bond with people has definitely changed a little bit with Medium and Substack alike. Because with Medium comments, like, I think that like most people have had that moment where they're like obsessively checking the comments, and I still do. Like, I do get a rush out of seeing people interact with my content. I love seeing people talk about things that, have been on my mind, or, even if it's something along the lines of, hey, Ossiana, you're not crazy. I'm seeing it too. That stuff matters a lot. And Substack, with its instant email, it definitely does make a little bit of a difference on how I see things. It's a lot more relaxed, and it's a lot more, I want to say, laid back. Yeah. I love being able to actually just like reach out, chat, and learn about my readers. Like, I was surprised at how many readers I have who were in rural environments, or who are like 70 years old, or who are like 50 years old. And yet we all had the same experiences in life. And just being able to show them like everything through my lens has been kind of amazing.
You are one of those writers who publish their stories on Medium and on Substack. Does this mean your subscribers get the same stories in their inboxes? Do you shoot exclusive content with extra value, or how do you handle this?
So I do try to shoot for exclusive content on Substack. Obviously right now I'm stretched very thin. There's been a little bit of a safety issue in my private life that I'm not going to really talk about too much. That's been kind of frying me out emotionally. Aside from that, and like a little bit of a health issue that I've been having, I usually try to shoot for some exclusive content on Substack. But for the most part, I publish the same thing, and I publish it often. And I try to make it so that everybody gets a little bit of extra value no matter what platform they're on. I used to have a lot more private work on Substack, simply because, people are paying for it if they're paid subscribers. And I hope to bring that back up again in the near future. It's just a matter of time right now.
I asked a paid subscriber today how he found me, and he replied, I saw you everywhere. On Medium, Substack, YouTube, Google, X. So I think it's important to amplify your reach. Do you have a tip for writers who want to republish things?
My one tip for republishing things, just republish them. Do it. Get your name out there. You'd be surprised at who will be on one platform and not on the other. And I've actually had people be like, Ossiana, look, I miss your writing on Medium. Please, for the love of all that is holy, go back on Medium. And I was like, you know what? I like you guys. You're my fans. And I actually do enjoy the Medium platform. I love it as a product. I don't like what they did with the lack of transparency on a lot of things, but I will be damned if I was going to say, hey, look, I like the community there. I like the community that I have on Medium. Are there trolls there? Yes. But at the same time, Medium has been my home. So I republish stuff on Medium, and a lot of times it's the major news companies on Medium that tend to pick up my writing. I actually had multiple major platforms syndicate me as a result of stuff that I wrote on Medium. Sometimes it was Your Tango, sometimes it was Good Men Project, which, by the way, they have a publication on Medium. You can write for them, and then it'll end up on like Yahoo News. That's huge for major writers in my field. I've had PR agents like reach out to me. I've gotten free swag. It was fun. And you'd be surprised at who ends up reading your stuff. One of the projects I'm currently involved with, I can't really talk too much about. I actually was scouted by a movie producer. So I'm going to be, doing some stuff. I can't really say much more. It's still in the fledgling thing. I'm hoping that the project pulls through, but I think it will. And you're going to be able to see a new series. So please republish. It doesn't matter where you're republishing. If somebody is on that platform, they could be seeing your work and you never know who's reading it. You literally never know.
So good. It's true. You might be surprised who ends up reading your stuff. Now let's come back to Substack, where you are doing pretty good. However, what have been some of the biggest challenges and rewards of growing your subscriber base on Substack, especially considering the intimate nature of your writing?
I started Substack in August, and I now have 957 subscribers on one of my publications. There's about 2,000 on The Refugee, which is like a collaborative publication that I made with a bunch of my friends. And we use that as a way of promoting one another's work and getting each other's name out there, aside from the recommendations app. And then the Ossiana Teaches Writing, that's like about 100 viewers. So yeah, doing pretty good.
Ossiana, given your background in a niche field like porn journalism, where advertising routes are limited, how has those experiences influenced your promotional strategies for your Substack newsletter?
So when it comes to porn journalism, I kind of fell into that at one of my workplaces. They pretty much had me start doing lists of like the top 10 porn stars for SEO purposes. And after a while, I started networking with them and I started talking to them. And oddly enough, their promotion methods on Twitter and also via social networking and the way that they market their own content, even though it's pornographic, it's X-rated in nature, it has actually helped me market my writing. It's made me realize a couple things. First off, there's a niche for everything. Doesn't matter how weird or wacky it is. There's some people out there right now who want to read your writing. Second of all, never, ever, ever turn down the ability to collaborate with other people. A lot of the people who I've collaborated with, whether it's on The Refugee or if it's on, even when I'm just like collaborating on like an interview or something like that, whenever people share their interviews and everything, that's some new readers. That's some new people who could be curious about what you have. And a lot of my best readers have come from mentions from other people. Even the people who hate my writing and actually railed against it on Medium helped me find new readers, because by having them vent and bitch and moan about things, they were actually getting people interested in what I had to say. And when they read my stuff, they're like, okay, that's more read time for me. Or some of them even resonated with it and they're like, what is this guy talking about? This stuff is awesome. So it's definitely been inspiring for me to get that same amount of collaboration when it comes to my writing as I see in the adult film world. Honestly, I just like hang out with porn stars too. They're just like really cool people.
How do you engage with your subscribers on Substack? Do you find the feedback and interaction different or more enriching compared to Medium?
When it comes to engaging with my subscribers, I like to reply to their comments. I occasionally like to start chats. I do like to have notes. I like to occasionally mention Substackers and Medium writers who I have read their work and I just like really get lit up with them. I love just finding other good writers. It's just as much of a thrill for me as reading. I just really wish I had more time to read and I had more time to like reply and comment.
With the success you're seeing on Substack, what are the future plans for your newsletter? Are there new topics or formats you're excited to explore?
I guess the only thing I can really say is I want Substack to continue being Substack. I want to see more paid subscribers, either through Buy Me a Coffee or through something else on Substack. I just enjoy having that kind of community, and I definitely enjoy having it again on Medium. Like since the first interview that we did, which was, or at least like the preview to the interview we did, like back in, what was it, December? I actually got about 100 more subscribers, I think. Or no, 57 more subscribers for free. So I love seeing people discover my writing. I love seeing the amount of collaboration. I just really wish that there was a way that I could niche down my writing a little bit more on Substack versus Medium. That's one of the biggest struggles that I do have as a writer, because I do write so randomly that it can be very hard for me to figure out what my readers really want to read at any given point. I just kind of like put it down on paper and hope for the best. But I really would like to have a more niche thing, and I definitely would like to have a full-blown magazine on the Substack platform where I have multiple writers and I'm able to actually pay them for their work. I want it to be a completely different, like, change of events, something that's beyond a magazine and something that's a little bit beyond a blog. I want it to be a community. I want it to be a showcase, and I want it to be something that the community needs. But I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that with Substack's platform, and I'm not sure how I would bring it to life. But that's a very, very distant and very long-term goal of mine. I think everybody kind of has that type of goal, though. They want everybody wants to have the next Cosmo magazine or whatever's the next big magazine, you know?
Interesting. I'm waiting for the next weirdo magazine then. Ossiana, thank you so much for your time. If you like this interview with Ossiana, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon.